The Ship of Fools, Episode 102, The Girl with the Iron Fists, The Refueling Moon of Hler. 19 was the kind of place the galaxy forgot on purpose, a barren sphere of gray dust and jagged rock. It orbited a dying star whose light flickered like a candle in its final hours. The fleet maintained a small outpost here, a lonely facility station with a single landing pad, a maintenance hangar, and one bar that proudly advertised itself as semi-respectable, which meant the chairs only collapsed sometimes. The Shadow Quest touched down with a soft hiss of cooling thrusters. Inside the cockpit, Aurora dimmed her lights to a warm amber. "Upgrades will take approximately 4 hours," she said. "You may wish to relax." Moxie raised an eyebrow. "Is that an order?" "A suggestion," Aurora replied. "You and Commander Banning have been operating at elevated stress levels for several consecutive missions." Snipes snorted. "Translation, go have a date already." Banning cleared his throat. "It's not a date." Moxie smirked. "It's absolutely a date." Snipes whispered loudly. "It's a date." Aurora added, "Statistically, it qualifies as a date." Banning sighed. "Fine, it's a date." The bar was dimly lit, with flickering neon signs and a jukebox that played music from 6 different centuries at once. The air smelled faintly of engine coolant and citrus disinfectant. A few off-duty mechanics nursed drinks at the counter, while a pair of asteroid miners argued over a holographic card game in the corner. Banning and Moxie found a small table near the back. For once, there were no alarms, no crises, no pirates, no anomalies, just the quiet hum of the bar and the soft glow of the dying star outside. Moxie took a sip of her drink. "You know, this is nice." Banning nodded. "It is." She leaned back, relaxing for the first time in days. No emergencies, no explosions, no snipes setting something on fire. Banning allowed himself a small smile. Give it time. They shared a quiet moment, the kind of moment that only happens when 2 people who've nearly died together a dozen times finally get to breathe. Then the door slammed open. A hulking alien brute ducked inside, his massive shoulders scraping the frame. He was nearly 8 feet tall, built like a collapsed star, with fists the size of engine blocks. His skin was a mottled gray, his tusks curved upward like ivory scythes. The bar went silent. Moxie didn't look up. "Don't say it." Banning whispered, "Maybe he won't." The brute stomped over to their table. He leaned down. He grabbed Moxie's ponytail, and he yanked. "Hey, sweetheart," he growled. "Nice hair. Bet it'd look better on my wall." Banning stood so fast his chair fell over. "Hey!" But Moxie was already moving. Her left fist shot forward like a cannon blast, slamming into the brute's midsection with a sound like a collapsing bulkhead. The alien's eyes bulged. Before he could inhale, Moxie pivoted, planted her feet, and delivered a right uppercut that lifted the brute off the ground. He crashed to the floor with a seismic thud. Silence. Then someone whispered, "That's the heavyweight champion of the galaxy." Another voice added, "He's never been knocked out." A third voice, "She killed him." The brute groaned. "Okay, she didn't kill him," the voice corrected. "But still." Banning stared at Moxie, stunned. "I was going to handle it." Moxie shrugged. "Next time." When they returned to the Shadow Quest, the landing pad was swarming with reporters. Cameras, drones, microphones, holographic news anchors floating in midair. Aurora flickered into existence. "Commander, Moxie, the incident has gone viral." Snipes ran down the ramp waving a data pad. "You're famous. Look, look. Every channel is talking about it." He held up the screen. "Girl with iron fists knocks out galactic champ. Who is the mystery woman of Hler 19? Fleet officer delivers 1-punch KO. Champion floored. Pride and jaw shattered. Moxie groaned. Oh, no. Snipes was practically vibrating. Oh, yes! Do you know how much money we can make? Endorsements, merchandise, action figures, Punch-Out Moxie holo games. Aurora added, You have received 4,327 sponsorship offers in the last 12 minutes. Banning rubbed his forehead. This is not ideal, Aurora continued. Additionally, Admiral Garrick has sent a message. Moxie froze. Oh, no. Aurora played it. Lieutenant Moxie, the fleet has never won the Federation Boxing Championship. You will represent us. Congratulations. Moxie's jaw dropped. No, 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 no. I'm not a boxer. Snipes waved the datapad. You are now. You have a title to defend. Aurora projected a hologram of Moxie's future. Based on current trends, you will become the most famous fighter in 7 sectors. Your career trajectory is... Stop! Moxie snapped. I don't want a career trajectory. I want my life back. Banning stepped closer, guilt tightening his voice. Moxie, I should have protected you. She turned to him, eyes softening. Banning, I don't need protecting. I know, he said quietly, but I wanted to. She touched his arm. You being there was enough. Snipes interrupted. Guys, can we focus? We have promoters offering millions, billions. One guy wants to put your face on a Zoomies box. Moxie groaned. I hate Zoomies. Aurora added, Statistically, this level of fame will permanently alter your life. Moxie sank onto a crate. I just want things to go back to normal. Banning sat beside her. Then we'll make them. She looked up. How? Banning stood. We talked to the champ. The heavyweight champion of the galaxy, Gorvac the Unbreakable, sat in the medical bay of the Hler 19 station, holding an ice pack to his jaw. He looked miserable. When Moxie entered, he flinched. Please don't hit me again. Moxie sighed. I'm not here to hit you. Gorvac blinked. You're not? No, she said. I'm here to apologize. Gorvac stared. Apologize? You knocked me out. You pulled my hair. Gorvac winced. Fair enough. Banning stepped forward. We need your help. Gorvac lowered the ice pack. With what? Moxie gestured helplessly. The fame, the attention, the boxing offers. I don't want any of it. Gorvac nodded slowly. I understand. Fame is a curse. I haven't had a quiet meal in 12 years. Snipes whispered, 12 years? Aurora added, Statistically, that is accurate. Gorvac sighed. I can fix this. He stood, towering over them, but this time he looked gentle. I will tell the galaxy the truth, he said, that it was a lucky punch, that I slipped, that I was distracted, that I had a stomach cramp, that I... Moxie held up a hand. Okay, I get it. But Banning shook his head. It won't be enough. Aurora nodded. The galaxy has already seen the footage. Moxie groaned. There's footage. Aurora projected it. The bar's security camera had captured everything. The yank, the punch, the uppercut, the knockout. It was crisp, clear, and devastatingly cinematic. Snipes whispered, We could sell that clip for millions. Moxie glared. Snipes. He cleared his throat. Right, yes, privacy, ethics, whatever. Aurora dimmed. We must alter the footage. Gorvac blinked. Alter it? Aurora nodded. We will create a version where the knockout appears accidental. Moxie stared. How do you make that look accidental? Aurora's hologram flickered with confidence. Watch. Inside the Shadow Quest, Aurora projected the raw footage into the air. She manipulated it with delicate gestures, her holographic fingers slicing through frames like a surgeon. She slowed the moment of impact. She shifted angles. She adjusted lighting. She subtly altered Moxie's stance. She added a tiny puddle of spilled drink beneath Gorvak's foot. She rewrote the physics of the uppercut so that it looked less like a punch and more like a collision of unfortunate timing. Snipes watched, awestruck. "Aurora, you're terrifying." Aurora replied, "Thank you." Banning crossed his arms. "Will it work?" Aurora played the edited version. In this cut, Gorvak lunged forward, slipped on the puddle, collided with Moxie's elbow, and knocked himself out on the table. Snipes gasped. "It looks real!" Moxie blinked. "It looks stupid." Aurora nodded. "Statistically, stupidity is more believable than skill." Banning sighed. "She's right." They returned to Gorvak. He watched the edited footage in silence. Then he nodded. "Yes, this is good. This is humiliating. This will work." He sent it to every news outlet in the galaxy. Within minutes, headlines changed. Champion slips. KO was accidental. New footage shows no fight occurred. Mystery girl not a boxer, just in wrong place at wrong time. Snipes stared at the news feed in horror. "No! Our Zoomies deal!" Moxie exhaled in relief. "Finally." Aurora dimmed to a calm blue. "Your life has returned to baseline normal." Banning smiled. "Good." Moxie nudged him. "Still embarrassed you didn't get to punch him first?" Banning cleared his throat. "I may need time to process that." She smirked. "I'll buy you a drink next time." He smiled back. "It's a date." The Shadow Quest lifted off from Hler 19, leaving behind the reporters, the chaos, and the brief, ridiculous storm of fame. Moxie stood at her station, ponytail swaying gently. Snipes sighed dramatically. "We could have been rich." Aurora replied, "Statistically, you would have mismanaged the funds." Banning added, "And Moxie would have hated every second." Moxie smiled. "Exactly." The ship jumped to warp, streaking into the stars, and somewhere on Hler 19, Gorvak the Unbreakable sat alone in the bar, nursing a drink through a straw and whispering, "But she really did knock me out." End of episode 102. The missions of the Shadow Quest, the Ship of Fools, will continue.